Good morning, Marshal.
I'm Billy Watson.
And I'm John Shelton. And welcome to the Morning Marshal. Today is Friday, May 2nd, and we have an extra special show today because tomorrow is the Kentucky Derby.
17 million viewers tuned in last year, putting it at the top 15 watched events worldwide. Once a year, we put up our best horses to compete and find out which horse claims the title of the fastest.
The Kentucky Derby is just the first of 3 races that make up the Triple Crown. The other 2 are the Preakness Stakes and the Belmont Stakes. Here's some info about the horses who won all 3.
The Triple Crown is one of the most illustrious prizes in sports, with only 13 horses ever winning it. There was a long 37-year drought between 1978 to 2015, beginning with Affirmed until American Pharoah won it in 2015. The average drought distance between winners is about 8 years, which means that the next winner should be in 2026 on average. The quickest horse to win the Triple Crown is, no surprise, the most famous, Secretariat, who set records at all 3 races. The slowest horse was surprisingly the first to win, Sir Barton, in 1919. Will we see a new Triple Crown winner this year? We don't know, but we could surely find out.
Some people like riding horses and some don't. Bryson went around the school to play Who Would Rather with people and see if they would rather train a racehorse or ride one. Let's hear what people have to say.
All right, who are we here with?
Braden Burnham.
So would you rather train a horse for the Kentucky Derby or ride a horse in the Derby?
Dude, you better be putting me on that horse.
And why's that?
I deserve to be out there. I'm the best horse rider ever, bro.
Who am I here with?
Emily Terry.
Would you rather train a horse for the Derby or ride a horse in the Derby?
Ride a horse.
And why's that?
Why not?
Who are we here with today?
Miss Buchanan.
Would you rather train a horse for the Kentucky Derby or ride a horse in the Derby?
Ride a horse in the Derby. I think that'd be more fun.
Why's that?
I don't think I could ever train one. I'd get nervous.
A lot of us only pick a winner of the Derby based on their names. So we went out and asked students who they thought was going to win the race just by the names. We also asked them what they would name their horse if they were a jockey.
Think's gonna win the Kentucky Derby?
I think the Flying Mohawk is gonna win.
If you were to race in the Kentucky Derby, what would you name your horse?
My horse's name would be Jonathan Kirk,
Why?
because that's the baby.
I want Flying Mohawk to win.
If you were to race in the Kentucky Derby, what would your horse's name be?
Purple Jet.
Why?
I just really like it. It's just a pretty color.
Chunk of Gold,
Why?
because it has a cool name.
If you were to race in the Kentucky Derby, what would your horse's name be?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Money. I don't know.
Why?
God. Cause Ching Ching. Rodriguez.
Why?
Because he had a cool name.
If you were to race in the Kentucky Derby, what would your horse's name be?
Sunshine.
Why?
Because I like the sun.
Tiz-tastic.
If you were to race in the Kentucky Derby, what would your horse's name be?
Cheez-It.
Why?
I don't know, I just really like Cheez-Its.
Why?
They're crunchy.
Who do you want to win the Kentucky Derby?
The Flying Mohawk.
Why?
Because it has a cool name.
If you were to race in the Kentucky Derby, what would your horse's name be?
Slow and steady.
Why?
Because I would be slow and steady.
Traditions are best done in a group. And what better time to group up and celebrate a tradition than while gearing up for the Kentucky Derby? The day before the race, everyone is encouraged to wear pink. Even the most masculine of men will dress up in pink on a Saturday before the Derby.
We've seen people pick their favorite horse by name, but I prefer to look at the numbers and statistics to place my bets on horses. Here are some of the best and worst stats in the Kentucky Derby history, including groundbreaking records and shocking flops.
Hello everybody, my name is Billy Watson and welcome to Derby by the Numbers. Today we're going to be talking about some of the best and some of the worst numbers in Derby history. Up first, we have the slowest finish time of any horse in the Kentucky Derby to ever win. It was ran by a horse named Kingman. he got a time of 2 minutes and 52 seconds. That, compared to the average finish time of 2 minutes and 2 seconds, shows just how slow Kingman really was. On the other side of the board, we have the fastest finish time ever by any racehorse in the Kentucky Derby. It was ran by the most famous horse in the Kentucky Derby, Secretariat. Secretariat got a run of 1 minute and 59 seconds, only 3 seconds faster than the average. Up next, we have the worst odds and the best odds of any horse in the Kentucky Derby. The worst odds any horse has ever had in the Kentucky Derby is 91 to 1 with a horse named Donerail. This means that if you put in $1 towards Donerail, you get $91 back. That's some crazy odds. The best odds I've seen was with the 2025 candidate, Journalism, with 3 to 1 odds. That means you'd only get $3 back if you put in $1 towards them.
Have you noticed that some horse names sound just like some weird band names? So here's Colin going around and asking you guys which one you think it may be.
Okay, I'm here with Maverick Simmons. Maverick, do you think Just a Touch is a horse name or a band name?
Band.
It's a horse name. It's unfortunate. Okay, I'm here with Donnie. Donnie, do you think Flaming Lips is a horse name or a band name?
Probably a band name.
You would be correct.
Do I get like money?
No. Okay, I'm here with Houston Johnson. Houston, would you say the name Catalytic is an indie band name or a horse name?
I'm gonna say horse.
You would be correct.
Food is a necessity on the Derby. Caden was able to walk around the school and ask what their go-to food was on Derby Day. Believe it or not, Tater Day itself was mentioned.
Who am I here with today?
Audrey Grace.
What is your Kentucky Derby Day food?
Chess pie.
Why not funnel cake?
Because we're not at Tater Day.
What is your Kentucky Derby Day food?
Probably barbecue.
Why not pizza?
Well, pizza's an everyday food.
Wings?
Okay, I could do wings.
Nachos?
Nah, no nachos. That just sounds like too much heartburn.
Who am I here with today?
Tage Doty.
With the Kentucky Derby around the corner, what is your Kentucky Derby Day food?
Definitely nachos.
Why not pizza?
Well, I'm not a bum. Only bums like pizza.
I'm not sure what Tater Day has to do with the Kentucky Derby, but we have the fairly reliable sports history teacher, Tyler Brockman, who maybe can give us some more context on the Kentucky Derby.
So the Kentucky Derby it was started in 1875, and this was going to be the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby this year. Obviously, it's held in Louisville, Kentucky, at Churchill Downs, and so that's one of the reasons why our state is so well known for horse racing. We have Churchill Downs in Louisville, and then also Keeneland in Lexington, and so lots of horse racing goes on. But obviously the Kentucky Derby is a huge event. Like I said, it's been going on for 151 years. Lots of people, there'll probably be 150,000 people there for the race itself, and then no telling how many other people come into town for the event, for the weekend. Lots of big stuff will be going on in Louisville. They have all kinds of events that coincide with the Derby, so a big time for our state. As far as history for the event, lots of big moments. The last few years have seen lots of long shots win, and what I mean by long shot, it's a horse that is not favored, kind of a horse that nobody thinks is going to win, and so those horses have had some success recently. Miss Hill told me an interesting fact earlier today that she is thinking that there's going to be a horse that their name starts with an S is going to win the Derby, because that has happened 19 times in Kentucky Derby history. So if you are a betting person and you're trying to bet on the ponies this week, maybe pick a horse that starts with an S, and that could be the winner. And we'll see if Miss Hill is right. But should be a great race, and I know lots of people are looking forward to it this coming weekend in Louisville.
The Kentucky Derby makes huge impacts every year for the state of Kentucky. Horse racing has made a direct impact of $517 million to the state's economy. $123 million just comes from horse betting.
planning on going to the Kentucky Derby in Louisville, it'll be mostly sunny with a 30% chance of showers, highs in the upper 60s. Here in Benton on Saturday, it'll be sunny with a chance of showers, highs in the low 70s. And on Sunday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs in the low to mid 70s. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. I'm Ryan Otten with your weather forecast.
Racing around the track is big news here at MCHS. These days too. Not Churchill Downs, and not with horses. Our track teams are making some noise too. From the creators of the hit show, Inside the Ozone, the team brings you a new twist into sports storytelling and sports media covering the 4x200 indoor state Marshal County High School record team. You can watch the entire episode on our Marshal Media Arts YouTube page. Here is a special portion of that special.
First off, socks and spikes are now.
I started out going no socks and spikes, and I liked it, but I also kind of feel comfortable with socks and spikes. So I do it based on the day.
Okay, so you're
I
a
wake up
day-to-day
and
guy.
I make the choice then.
Yeah, I'll see you at home tonight. Yeah. Mom's making meatloaf.
Okay.
Okay, Isaac, and do you wear socks in your spikes? Yes or no?
I don't even wear socks in my normal shoes.
Whether you wear socks in spikes. Lots of people do, lots of people don't. To me, I couldn't stand not wearing socks in my cleats. Talk to me about that.
No socks.
You go no socks? Do you not get blisters?
No socks. The spikes are meant to wear no socks with, like the way they make them, man.
All right, let me ask you.
If you get too sweaty, you're gonna slip.
All right, Isaac, we're finishing off your third leg of the 4x2. Thank you for coming on today, Isaac.
No problem.
And wish you best of luck
Yes,
in
sir.
college. This is a hot topic, I found out. Knowing a lot of people in the track team, do you or do you not wear socks in your spikes?
Yes, I wear socks. For the people that don't wear socks, you are a freak.
Why do you believe that? And why do they do that? Do they just want better traction in the shoe? I couldn't imagine not wearing socks in my cleats.
It's definitely just preference, but for the people that don't wear socks, usually their spikes smell very bad, very stinky, and personally it would leave blisters on my feet, so I choose to not do so.
And what spikes do you use?
Nike Max Fly ones.
All right, Kate, I appreciate you being on the interview today as we officially are crossing your part of the 4x2. Appreciate it, Kate.
Any senior wanting professionally taken pictures of their cap and gown attire for a cheap fee, check out our school's yearbook committee's cap and gown photo session, where students within the yearbook class will take your photo for $10 tomorrow from 1 to 5 p.m. in the MCHS main gym entrance. You can sign up using the QR code on screen.
Now, a Derby fact. Did you know where the Derby takes place, Churchill Downs is a National Historic Landmark? It was designated as a historic landmark in 1986. This means that Churchill Downs has been recognized by the U.S. government by having outstanding historical significance to the nation.
Hey, what's up? It's Caden with your joke today. I know I'm not Billy, but I'm better. I have 2 jokes for you today, and they're gonna make you laugh out of your socks. So, why are racehorses in shape? Because they're on a stable diet. Like that? All right. And where do racehorses shop? At Old Navy.
Churchill Downs doesn't just host the Kentucky Derby. They host a number of different events, including Trick or Treat at the track, which doesn't actually include trick or treating. It's just more races with a few kid-friendly activities.
We've been talking a lot about Triple Crowns today. If there was a Triple Crown for your favorite MCHS moments, what do you think they'd be? Kaysen was able to catch up with some students and ask what their Triple Crown moments were this year.
Who am I here with this morning? Skylar Jones. Skylar, what are your 3 top favorite school moments over the school year?
Definitely the assembly after Christmas, and when y'all beat Muhlenberg in football, and then I'd say us beating Callaway in basketball.
Probably meeting Reagan.
Meeting Jaden.
Learning how to weld.
And Miss Conley's English class because she's cool and the best teacher ever.
Yes, love Miss Conley. My favorite English teacher.
Definitely like prom night. That was pretty good. Miss Rogers' class because I just love Miss Rogers. And then I got elected president again for HOSA.
Meeting my boyfriend in Miss Rogers' class. Probably going to prom with my boyfriend, and then meeting lifelong friends through theater and the musical.
I'm going to be excited to graduate. I had a really fun time doing yearbook for senior year, and I love leaving at the end of the day.
Thanks for watching, Marshals. We hope y'all have a good weekend.
And good luck to all you who are competing in the Kentucky Derby.
We'll see you next time on
The Morning Marshal.